And let's get started. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to morning market update for what day is it today? Today is officially Thursday, May the 30th, 2019. We got some exciting stuff coming up today, primarily the oil inventory report. That's going to be at 11 a.m. It's going to be a huge opportunity to trade it with us. Usually it's a Wednesday report, but because Monday was off, the whole schedule gets pushed forward. So crude oil inventories go on Thursday at 11 a.m. and natural gas takes its usual spot at 10:30 on the Thursday. All right. Typically, though, crude oil comes out on Wednesday morning at 10:30. So on a holiday Monday weekend, it's pushed forward and to 11 a.m. All right. So we got that report. Huge volatility, big opportunity in 1 hour of one day of the week. You could earn your whole weekly income. Some days it's so good you can make your whole monthly income. Whatever else you do from crude oil in 1 hour, right? Super opportunistic. Morning market update today. We have our morning market fun fact with the 6th drop in 8 sessions on Wednesday. Dow Industrials fell to their lowest level since February of 2011. Blue chips are 5.7% below their 2019 peaks and 6.3% off their October all-time highs, although they remain up 7.7% for the year. So we've seen a little bit of selling off, but we're still seeing gains on a year-to-year basis. Right, Uber Technologies today will report its first quarterly earnings report after the bell, after filing to become a public company. All right, it debuted a few weeks ago as an IPO. Investors are looking out for more details on the company's numbers, since it's a first report. All the information they've held private until now will officially go public. All right. Also, Lyft is forecasting that this is going to be their last year, or they're going to peak their losses as of this year and move in the opposite direction going forward. That's putting a little bit of optimism into the ride-sharing market. So investors are curious to see how Uber's sentiment is and what their guidance and forward-looking analysis is for their company. All right. At 8:19 this morning, Donald Trump reiterated that he believes China would love to make a trade deal. And he also said he could meet with Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage when he visits the UK. All right. He doesn't believe Congress can impeach him. He says Congress cannot impeach me. After we heard Mueller's testimony yesterday, it wasn't really a testimony. He made kind of a remark saying he's quitting his post and closing off the office and the investigation and moving forward with his life. All right. He also said that under the judicial system, they didn't have the rights to charge Trump, but he pretty much hinted at, hey, Congress, you're going to have to go for impeachment. He didn't find any blatant reasons to put charges on him. So, with that suggestion and him closing his investigation, the market got a little spooked out and it sold off. All right. When you're talking about impeaching a president, a standing president, obviously, markets don't take very kindly to that. It's uncertainty. It's a lot of fear that starts to get built up, and we release some downside liquidity. All right. Oil markets yesterday were absolutely nuts. All right, we released a lot of downside liquidity and literally faded all the losses and then some to close on highs for the session. Very opportunistic. Was sitting at 56.96 with a limit order to buy. Traded down to 98 on that retracement. It just rocked without me. I was gonna I can't tell you I was gonna trail it all the way to 59, but I would have got at least some of that action. All right, yesterday my computer was down a bit as well, so I couldn't trade. So I missed the majority of it. I actually finished yesterday. I saw my statement in my account. I took two trades actually. One was accidental. One I tried to get back into the accidental trade that worked out really well. So here's what I did. I did an accident trade, but then when I reviewed it and my charts came back up, I was like, you know what? That was actually a great trade. I'm getting so good at it, my accidents work out too. So that's a great trade. Let me get back in it. Got in it. I think net total was like $60 gain yesterday. Not a huge day, but I mean, my computer wasn't working. All right, and markets today in Asia, Japan's down 0.3%, Hong Kong's down 0.4, China's down 0.3, India's up 0.7%. In Europe, at midday, all equities up about 0.5 percentage point. U.S. futures up about 0.3 to 0.4 each on the Dow, the SPUs, which is the S&P 500 and Nasdaq, and crude oil is up about 0.2 to 58.92. Open is 59.10. So we've opened up slightly higher than the quote that I just gave you there. Interesting stats out of Iran, all right, and this helps the crude bullish picture for the moment. All right, after the U.S. ended all sanction waivers for Iranian oil on May 2nd, right, Iran's crude oil exports have been significantly down this month. They plummeted to just 400,000 barrels a month. Get this, which is less than half of the exports for the previous month. All right. So the prior month they had 800,000 barrels exported. Now they only have 400,000. All right. And in the peak of their exporting in April of 2018, before Donald Trump announced they're pulling out of this nuclear accord and would start to put new sanctions on Iran, and granted waivers temporarily. But in April 2018, at the peak, how much do you think it was? 2 million barrels per day. All right, that's not in a month. 2 million barrels per day net exports from Iran. Right now, it's at 400,000 a day. All right, so that's 1.6 million barrels a day less export than they used to have at the peak. That's a significant amount. That's less of a supply than expected. All right, speaking of less of a supply than expected, yesterday's API numbers after the closing bell showed that crude oil drew more than expected for the prior week. So less inventory, all right, same or equal demand pushes prices higher. So that's what we have there on Iran's oil industry situation, and that's putting a little bit of a bid into the oil market. Very interesting stuff. There'll be a lot of volatility in oil today. I think it's a market and the place to be trading for today's session. Gold's flat. Bitcoin's up 0.6, back above 8,000 at 87.30. 10-year Treasury yield up 3 basis points. This morning we had a slew of data. 8:30 we had Q1 preliminary GDP annualized that came out at 3.1% versus 3 expected, which is better than expected. Personal consumption was at 1.3 versus 1.2%, and that was a beat. Non-residential fixed investment missed slightly. Exports were up 4.8% versus 3.7% in advanced reading, so stronger exports. Imports were down less than expected as well. All right, positive number on the GDP front. We had advanced goods trade balance that came out at minus 72.1 billion versus minus 72.7. So less of a trade deficit, which should make Donald Trump happy, at least temporarily. Exports were up 4.8% month over month, where imports were down minus 2.5%, which is a positive. It's a move in the right direction for the U.S. economy. All right, for the U.S. trade balance. The other big report today is initial jobless claims came out at 215,000 versus 214 expected. That's in line with expectations. 4-week average dropped to 216.75 from 220,000. That's a pretty significant drop on a 4-week average. These are probably some of the lowest unemployment claims we've seen in decades. All right, not the lowest, but near the lowest. Okay, super important there. 10 a.m. we have pending home sales. 10:30 natural gas inventory. 11 a.m. Department of Energy's petroleum inventories, which is the crude oil report. And 12 p.m. Fed's Clarita speaking. 4:30 we got the Fed's money supply and balance sheet coming out. Busy day ahead of us. A lot's already happened. I should have wore this shirt yesterday because this is a new shirt that we're kind of experimenting with. I'd love to get your guys' opinion in the comment section. Let me know if you would be interested in getting one of these. So it has this logo, which is a bear with a down arrow. And STFR stands for sell the rip. Which means when it rallies, sell it. And it would have worked really well yesterday. I don't know if it's going to work well today. Today, I think we're going to get a little bit of a rebound in the stock market. But remember, the trend's down overall. We broke 2,800. At the moment, we're 10 points below 2,800. I think as we rally upwards, if we have low volume, start hitting rallies again. STFR all the way down. On the sleeve, there's a little TRADEPRO Academy logo. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty cool. And STFR. Last but not least, I want to remind you guys that prices are increasing for our service on Monday across the board. It is the steepest increase of prices we've ever done, and it is also the most amount of value we have ever had. If you're looking at having an opportunity to join an institutional-like trading environment, this is it. And if you're looking to pay for it monthly, this is also it, right? We're not like other education companies where you have to spend $20,000 just to learn how to trade. Spend $200 max a month and learn how to trade, learn as you go, all right? And you should at some point cross the line where your learning starts generating profit for you, so it becomes break even sooner. All right, if I was to charge you $20,000 for a trading program, what are you going to have left over to trade with? And here's the big lesson that nobody will admit to you in the trading industry. You don't learn from any one person. You learn from the market. No one person will teach you how to trade. It's impossible, all right? Because that person trades different than you. The real teacher is the market. And, it's better to give $20,000 to the market and learn than it is to give $20,000 to one person hoping to learn how they trade, which has nothing to do with how you trade. Sort of like a diet, right? One guy will find a diet that works for him. They'll be like, wow, this is amazing. Look at the body I achieved. I've just been eating vegetables. You don't have to eat meat to be strong. And then vegetables and steroids is my secret. They go and they start getting oiled up, taking pictures and flexing. You try the diet and it doesn't work for you. It's because it wasn't designed for you. Everyone's body responds differently. Everyone's trading behavior is going to be different as well. All right, so come on out to TradePro Academy. Learn how to trade the right way. This is your chance. Monday prices are increasing forever. This is the lowest you're ever going to pay. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Manage your risk. Trade like a Trade Pro. Goodbye. All right, Trade Pros in the room. Let's open this up by drawing some levels on the S&P 500. Then I'll send it over to Victoria to do NASDAQ and Marky to do the Dow. Even though Marky's now focusing more on trading the equity market, S&P rather. He'll still cover the Dow for you this morning out of the goodness of his heart. All right. Deepak, it's on YouTube. I can't stream on YouTube and Zoom at the same time. Actually, I might be able to. Go check out the YouTube from this morning. You'll see it. I'll show you guys on Zoom in a minute. All right. Let's get started, team. Let me show you some levels, and I'll kick it off with S&P 500.